NBA dark horse teams that could potentially win a championship and our breakout candidates. I don't know if we're gonna do it separately, but it just depends on how this goes. We can start with our NBA dark horse teams.
I only got two dark horses. My dark horses are the Kings and the Grizzlies. I think with the acquisitions of DeMar DeRozan, all the Kings miss or were missing was another score. Remember, we were talking about Kuzma going there, how Kuzma would be good, but now that they got DeMar DeRozan, they have another fourth quarter closer. They have another clutch player. I think that would do well for them in the playoffs. And on top of that, DeMar DeRozan has hell of playoff experience. So I feel like they can be a sneaky team to play against in the playoffs. And like I said, the other one is the Grizzlies with Ja back. Ja impacts the game so much. I think that he can go out there and win you a series. And with the acquisitions of Edie, a 7'3" big body down there, it helps them out defensively. And if he stays healthy and he progresses quickly throughout the season, they can make some noise too.
My dark horse teams, I had four. I had the Phoenix Suns. I think the
Mm.
Suns. I feel like
Are
obviously
they
they
really a
got.
dark horse though?
I don't think. I don't think nobody has them like championship contender though.
Mm,
Like I think they're a good team. I just think they're not championship, but
really?
they could if everyone's healthy with the addition of Tyus Jones. I think it makes a difference. And sneakily, I even said this last year. With what they had, because they was basically in cap hell, I think they had a decent offseason. I think with getting Titus Jones, you basically resign Grayson Allen, resign Royce O'Neal. Those are good players coming off your bench. You drafted Ryan Dunn, who so far in preseason looks decent. He looks pretty decent.
Mm-hmm.
So if Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, and if Bradley Beal can have a better second year with the Suns, I think they could go to the championship. Am I picking them? Probably not. But I think they have a chance if everyone is healthy. And it also depends on matchups in the playoffs. And another team, I'm gonna go with the Pacers. I think the Pacers they have a lot of weapons on that team. Yes, the defense is bad, but you have
Terrible.
Pascal Siakam with a full year of Pascal Siakam. Tyrese Halliburton, he did have a great year in the beginning of the year, but then he kind of fell off because he was hurt. But he still played good enough. And I know everybody's gonna say, "Well, Giannis got hurt." Uh, who they face? Oh, the Knicks got hurt, even though Jalen Brunson was there. But that's neither here or there. He still took that team to the conference finals. And if depending on if everyone plays good and healthy, could they go to the championship? They have a chance. Would I put my money on it? No, but I think they have it. I think they have a chance to go there. And also another team, the Cavs. I think the Cavs could potentially go
Cavs.
our dark horse team. Something you got a new coach in Kenny Atkinson, who I think is gonna. He worked with like Jared Allen, Karis LeVert back in there, Brooklyn, when that the fun Brooklyn team. But I think Donovan Mitchell, he's always gonna be good, but I think really the key is people gonna say Mobley, but I think it's Darius Garland. I think Darius Garland, since Donovan Mitchell's been there, he's kind of
He
been
hasn't
average.
been
And
that all star.
yeah,
He
he
has
hasn't
not been that all
he
star.
hasn't been an all-star really since Donovan Mitchell gets there, but maybe with Kenny Atkinson, maybe Kenny Atkinson can unlock that all-star ability that he once had. And I think the Cavs do got a good team. It's just every time they go up against like the big dogs in the East, they can't beat them. But
I was
if
gonna
they're
say.
healthy, they could get there though.
I was just gonna say, do you think they can beat? Because depending on who they face in the first round, they gonna face one of those top teams, whether it's the Bucks or the Sixers or the Celtics. You think they can beat one of them?
Okay, if I had to go with it right now, gun to my head, and they say, who do you think the Cavs can really beat? I think really the only teams they could beat out of those top four teams is the Knicks and the Bucks.
Mm.
I think those are the only two teams out of those top four that they can beat. If the 76ers are healthy, I think they have nobody that can stop Joel Embiid. And me personally, I think they don't have really nobody that can really guard a Paul George. If we're being honest, I think they don't have none of that. But I feel like the Knicks, their offense
Or
is
Maxi.
better, huh?
I said or Maxi. They ain't got nobody to
I
guard Maxi
mean,
either.
I think Tyrese Maxey is better than Garland, but head to head, I would think Garland can somewhat guard him to an extent. But I think they have nobody that can guard Joel Embiid and Paul George. So with the Knicks, the offense I think is going to be way better. Outside of that, like obviously Cat and Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges, OG, and Josh Hart. It's like I think the Cavs can match that firepower. And with the Bucks, honestly, the Bucks are I think they're kind of a mystery. I feel like after Giannis and Dame, who else can you really trust? Brook Lopez is declining. Chris Middleton stay hurt. Who else? And Bobby Porter's good. But after that,
Yeah,
who
Bobby
else?
Porter's consistent.
Yeah, he
He's
good.
consistent.
But outside of that, who do they really have? And Mobley ain't stopping no Giannis. But Mobley on Giannis, I'm taking my chances with that than anybody else on the East that can guard Giannis. I think those are the only two teams. And they can't beat Boston. I'm sorry. They can't beat them.
Who your last one?
I had the Timberwolves. I know people kind of like, a lot of people hate the trade, the Julius Randle and the Rudy Gobert. But I think the trade isn't that bad. When I did my reaction, I think I gave the Timberwolves a B. I think I gave them a B plus because I think Julius Randle, it's not like Julius Randle is like some average player. The man was an all NBA player. Like I think we forget about that. He was an all NBA player. And bringing Dante over, who is your sixth man, and in some cases can close the lineup. Could be in the closing lineup. So I think that team is really not that bad. I think they're still a good team. Are they 50-some wins good? You can argue it.
I'll say they still might be.
I mean, you can argue 50-some wins. I think last year they had 56 or something like that. You can argue
I can see them around like 51 and 52.
I think they could get 50 and definitely in the high 40s. But I think that team is not bad. In the West is stacked, but I mean, if you look on paper, really, it's only probably like two teams that's better than them. And that's, in my opinion, that's OKC and Dallas, if anything. Everybody else, I think they either better than them or they on literally the same level as them.
Hey, when I was watching the preseason games, that preseason game, Julius Randle came back. I don't know if it was just because of rust or what, but that offense looks nasty. Like
yesterday,
the Timberwolves, that offense looked nasty. I don't know if it's because they was trying to get Julius Randle back acclimating and having him just touch the ball, but like them post ups and stuff, they wasn't. The offense just looked like it didn't run smoothly. It wasn't a lot of screening and cutting, or I mean, when Ant had it in the post or when Julius had it in the post, somebody cut off then so they could dump it down. But other than that, the offense was really stagnant. And I don't think they're gonna go 5 if they offense is like that.
That was really the problem with people is like that offense is gonna be not as consistent or good as it was last year with Cat because Cat helps space the floor. And Julius, he can shoot, but he's not the shooter as Cat though. He's just not. So, but I still think
you think he's gonna attempt more threes this year? Well, because let's see, did Julius Randle attempt last year?
Last year, he attempted 5.
You think he attempt like 7?
I wouldn't be shocked because that year before last year, he attempted 8 threes per game. That's a lot. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, I think he might attempt like more
6.
threes.
He might attempt like 6.
Yeah, I think he'll attempt more threes this year.
But yeah, so that is our Dark Horse Championship teams. Now we're going out to our breakout candidates.
For our breakout candidates, I got 4 of them. One, Jalen Johnson. We already talked about him being most improved. But I got Jalen Johnson. I got Jalen Williams. I got Devin Vassell. And I got Jaden Ivey. The one that if I had to put my money on one, I'm putting Jalen Johnson, obviously, but Jaden Ivey. I think Jaden Ivey is going to have a better year under JB Bickerstaff. So far in the preseason, Jaden Ivey decision-making looks better. His shot looks better. And then now with Tobias being on that team, he's going to be probably the second or third option, toss up. But I think he's going to be more consistent this year, finishing at the rim with his threes. I think he's just going to be an overall better player this year, especially with a new coach that I feel like believes in him now.
So for my breakout candidates, obviously I got Jalen Johnson too. It's not really surprising. There's really nothing to talk about. I have Josh Giddey. I think Josh Giddey is he's not the best player on that team, but I think I wouldn't be shocked if he gets close to averaging a triple double. I can see Josh give me like 11 points, 7 rebounds, and maybe like 8 assists. I wouldn't be shocked. I think he outside of Lonzo, I think he is the best passer on that team. He probably damn near the best rebounder on that the second best, third best rebounder on that team. So I think Josh Giddey, especially getting traded because he did play good in that semifinals against the Mavericks, and he might have a chip on his shoulder. Then with all that other stuff that happened last year, he might have a chip on his shoulder, and I think he'll play pretty good for the Bulls. Another name, I got Jordan Poole because especially yesterday you was talking about him, but Jordan Poole, I think last year was like a wake up call. Last year, I know my hot take was average 30 points. I know it's a hot take, whatever, but I think this year, I think he plays serious. I think he'll take better shots, and since he is the point guard, he has to be more of a facilitator. So I think Jordan Poole plays better. Could he get back to what he was in Golden State, averaging 20 points off the bench? I think he can. I think he really can. I think he'll play better. And the last player I got is Jonathan Kuminga. Jonathan Kuminga, obviously, last year basically had to talk to Steve Kerr about getting more minutes. He got the minutes in. He played good. He played really good last year. And him being, you can really say he's the clear cut or debating the second best player on the team. And I think he'll play really good this year. He'll finally get that bag that he deserves. So yeah, those are my breakout candidates.
Man, ain't nobody coming to the pool party, dog. Ain't nobody coming, man. You ain't finna have nobody at the pool party. That motherfucker gonna be empty.
Man,
Jordan Poole gonna do the same. Man, ain't no baddies coming to the pool party. It's gonna be a bunch of dudes, a bunch of his teammates.
That's crazy. That's nasty.
That man finna average the same amount of points he finna do exactly what he did last year.
That's nasty.
Cause he ain't shown no improvement even in the preseason.
It's preseason, but give me 10 games of Jordan Poole, and then we can come back and I'll say what I think about Jordan Poole. I'll say what I think about him. But yeah, that is our breakout candidates for this NBA season.